Hello everyone, you're watching Let's Talk About Prepping. I'm Tyler, your host, and in this video we're going to discuss the reports that you've probably heard about recently if you or anybody that you know is tied in with the mainstream media. Those are of course the reports that vaping is going to kill us all. Alright, so the extinction of humanity may be an exaggeration, but so likely to are the reports that you should probably quit vaping even if it means going back to cigarette use. Which isn't exactly what the FDA is saying, but they're definitely telling people to quit vaping, at least until they figure out what form of vaping, or at least what part of that form of vaping, or what instances of vaping are causing people to die in a way that is linkable to vaping. Now that may sound complicated. That's probably because it probably is complicated to link deaths to vaping and exclude other factors that can be quickly dismissed. Now, I'll start here by saying I'm not a vaping apologist. I think that if I probably got back into nicotine use, it probably would not be vaping. It'd probably be cigarettes or some other form. I do vape because I sell vapor products, but only as an third-party retailer, not with any affiliation to any vaping brand. So, just to clear the air, I have no particular interest in promoting vaping over any other form of nicotine consumption. The only reason I use vapor products is to be able to recommend them. But when I am suddenly hearing about a research paper from multiple people, from multiple mainstream media sources, and just from everyone around me all at once, I ask why. Research papers are pretty plentiful, and they don't tend to gain mainstream media attention. And vaping has been around, and there have been people saying bad things about vaping for quite a while now. And it is interesting that there are deaths now linkable to it. I find it interesting that I myself haven't seen any reports saying that the deaths are caused by vaping, just linked to it. Now, I feel like there had to have been quite a bit of research done to be able to say that they are linked to it. Obviously, they're not saying it's caused by it, but you have to be able to exclude other things, like those people were not using any significant amount of cigarettes or other inhaled tobacco, because that would muddy the waters so much that you couldn't, call it a link. Somebody put research into this, which means money. And obviously there are interest groups that are backed by groups that don't have the same interests as vaping companies. And I think that that's the pretty obvious place to look first, is places like the tobacco industry. I sell a lot of tobacco products. But I'm always curious why I'm hearing all these things from multiple directions at the same time. And I'm going to be honest, 5 deaths linkable to one thing is nothing whenever you compare it to deaths attributable to alcohol use, whether that's alcohol poisoning, violence like domestic violence caused by alcohol use or exacerbated by alcohol use, drunk drivers killing innocent people on the roads, which is one of the leading causes of death in America. After, I'll point out, medical malpractice and pharmaceuticals, actual commercial pharmaceuticals just being mixed wrong and simply killing people. 200,000 people on average die in a given year in America just because the medical industry messed up in one way or another. And yet the FDA, for, reasons unknown, definitely not financial reasons, has decided that everybody should quit vaping, which is one of the main contributors to any decrease in tobacco use lately. which is generally agreed upon to be one of the leading causes of illness in America. They've told people to stop vaping with no apparent, to my knowledge, alternative offered. And I find that interesting. So I'm just curious on your thoughts about it. Those are my rambling 2 cents on the topic. I've been hearing it all day for days from multiple people. So it got me thinking about it. Clearly, this is not really anything that's going to threaten anybody who's not using it. I think that tobacco or any nicotine product use is a matter of personal decision for anybody of age. But I think that we like to watch for things that are being talked about, like to watch the herd mentality, and maybe that's what we can glean out of this, is to ask ourselves just how much we base our outlook, the things that we consider to be relevant, on what we hear from everybody around us. Have you been feeling like vaping maybe is suddenly the villain? Is it the villain? It may be. I've generally been suspicious of it as something that's been untested. Tobacco being as bad as it is, it's been around for quite a while, and we have a pretty good handle on what it does to people and what it does to young people around old people who are using it. We know whether or not it has any genetic or generational effects. I highly doubt that any of the things in vaping products have any generational effects. But, you know, we do a lot of things nowadays without knowing what the downstream effects are. And that's always been one concern of mine. But I'm also very skeptical when I see sudden tide changes, like I've seen with the sudden villainization of vaping, which is, again, somewhat irrelevant to me. But curious what you guys have to say about it, because I've been hearing what my random customer base and just the people around me have been saying about it. So, love to hear your comments down below. Hope you're all doing well. Everybody stay safe out there.